For this lesson, you need to open the sample file Inventory 9 from your Sample Files folder. Students often come to my classes with long wish lists. Usually, by the end of the course, they've ticked off all of their requirements, and they don't have to ask any of the questions that they'd arrived with. An item that seems to be on everybody's wish list is a way to sort data by columns rather than by rows. This lesson will teach you a simple technique to achieve this. Note that this technique will work for ranges, but not for tables. If you need to sort a table by columns, you'll have to convert it to a range first. And that's exactly what we'll do in this lesson. So let's begin by converting the table to a range. I click anywhere in the table, Table Tools Design, in the Tools group, Convert to Range, and the table has now become a range. Next, I'm going to add a blank row at the top of the range. To do that, I select row 1 and insert. And in this row, I'm going to define the sort order that I want for the columns beneath. So I think I still want number to appear in the first column, but I'd like category to appear in the second column, and I'd like supplier to appear in the third column, followed by product name in the fourth column, and 5, 6, 7 I'll leave as they are. You might notice that the formatting in cell E1 is slightly different to the other numbers. That's just because E1 has inherited the format from the values in column E, but it still has the number 5, of course. Now I need to select every cell in the range. The quickest way to do that is to click inside the range and press Ctrl A on the keyboard. Ctrl A is a really useful shortcut key. It selects everything, including row 1 and even including the total row. Now I'm ready to apply my sort by columns. To do that, I click the Data tab on the ribbon and in the Sort and Filter group, Sort, and this brings up the Sort dialog. Now you may have noticed that row 1 is suddenly not included in the range anymore. Why's that? Well, it's because of the checkbox My Data Has Headers at the top right of the dialog. If that's checked, as it is now, Excel will assume that the first row is a header row, and of course it's not in this case, so I'll clear that checkbox to include row 1 in the sort. But now, how can I sort by rows rather than by columns? Well, the answer's to be found in that Options button. If I click Options, you'll see that I can sort top to bottom, that's by rows, or left to right, that's by columns, so I'll choose Sort Left to Right. And when I return to the dialog, the Sort By list now contains row references, so I can sort by columns across any one of my rows. And of course the row I want is row 1. So when I click the OK button, I'm expecting to see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in row 1, and underneath that I'll have number first, then category, then supplier, then product name, then unit price in stock value. Let's click OK, and yes, it's worked absolutely fine. I've got the sort order that I wanted. Now I'll tidy things up. Let's just begin by getting rid of that first row, and I think the column widths are a little too wide and a little too narrow in some cases, so I'll select everything and double click on the intersection of 2 of the column headers to fix that up. And I know that totals don't import very well into tables, so let's also get rid of row 71. And I'm now ready to convert back into a table. So I click inside the range, and then the Insert tab on the ribbon, and in the Tables group, I click Table. And my range has now become a table. One last thing is to re-add that total row that's now missing. So I'll click Table Tools Design, and in the Table Style options, Total Row, and I've now reinstated the total row. All that's left now is to save your work, and I'm going to save with the new name Inventory 10, and as usual, I'll save to the folder above my Sample Files folder. I click the Save button, and you've now completed Lesson 112, Sort a Range by Columns.